back in those days, like you kind of mentioned it, a lot of girls didn't really like you in like this community, but a lot of girls didn't like any girls that like talk.
Yeah,
at all,
I guess you're right. You're
including some other girl we know. But also, like, it's just ironic because all these people were like, "Oh, Mata is trying to make moves on Kuro, or other girl is trying to make moves on Kuro." Meanwhile, all this time, like, I was in London with Safwan, which is like way more of a, like, I don't know if they knew that, like, I don't know how to explain it. They would have flipped because that's like outside of company, and I'm like walking around with her all over the place, right?
And again, and at one point too, you're walking around with her, but you're like kind of like grabbing her by the shoulder because again, she had like she had a limp, so we were kind of helping her out.
Exactly.
But yeah, I really like. I went to therapy, and I'm pretty over a lot of that part of my life where I think it was such a new thing, and people weren't sure what was happening, and I've made peace with that part of my life.
Yeah. I didn't even really think about it until I'm talking with like you, like talking with someone who was in that time, because we can like, when we think about stories we have together, it ends up being that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So that's like the only times I really think about it.
I was talking to Mint about this where we were talking about, I think on the pod, we were talking about, would we do things different in our life? Would we change anything? And the thing is, right now, where I am currently in Vshojo with you guys, doing what I'm doing, I would be too scared. Like, even if I could avoid maybe a little bit more pain, maybe if I could avoid, like, I'm too scared to do that because I'm scared that it wouldn't have led me here right now where I am.
Yeah.
Because where I am right now, I am so happy and satisfied. And I feel that even this is where it's really, really hard. And I've talked about it too. I don't know if I'm just really positive or if I have so much PTSD that I'm good at dealing with it. Because like, I really feel like a lot of the pain and a lot of the hardship has led me to now look at my life differently. Like, I am very slow to make friends. I'm very slow to opening up. Like, I keep my circle and I keep my circle tight. I'm good with them. But like, before making a new friend, right? Like, let's say you, me, and Mochi, right? We're close, but because of time zones, we don't get to talk as much as we do. Before I make a new friend, I'm thinking, have I spent time with Mochi and Kuro? Have I given to my friends that I already have? And I got this way because of like our previous stuff.
Yeah. I think with both of us, we kind of went through a lot of trauma. With that stuff. But when I joined Vshojo, like initially I wasn't even planning to be like VTubing again for a while.
I remember.
I kind of just wanted to like chill, right? And then I got the offer for Vshojo, and I was like, oh, I guess like I'll join because it's like once in a lifetime opportunity, right? But when I joined, I changed so much, right? I changed so much of the things that people liked about me, right? I stopped completely NSFW anything. I didn't even have an NSFW tag. I had like 20 different channel rules. I switched from YouTube to Twitch only. And and then I took like already like 7 to 8 month-long breaks or half a month breaks, right? Because I really just wanted to kill my shit. And I think I mentioned it to you too, like already before. I just wanted to kill my shit because I was so done with like everything related to VTubing and stuff. But I was like, but I have this, but I don't know. I don't want to deal with these people anymore. And now, I was talking about this with my chat probably like 3 months ago, because this is when it started a change. My community is a lot smaller now because all these people have gone, which of course, like I said, I did that like intentionally, right? But
of course,
from this point onwards, it feels like everyone that's in my community is someone I really, really like. And
it's
it feels
intentional.
good. Like, I haven't had community drama Isn't that insane? Like, I had so much before. I have nothing. There's no community drama.
And okay, can we talk about the community drama? Sometimes the community, and like, again, we love you guys and you're amazing. And we know that sometimes there's infighting and stuff like that. But sometimes in our past, there would be community drama that like we didn't start. We didn't know about. And then people are like, well, you need to do something about this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm on vacation. I'm tired. What do you guys are fighting? What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
What? And again, I get it. It was dramatic. Everybody was on their stuff, but I completely get you on the community fighting where you're like, yeah, you guys are doing great and we're happy. Oh, I have this theory that it's a corporate thing. And I think it's because people kind of know that there's things that you can't really talk about.
Yeah, so they push it.
Like I've talked about it before where like, I wish I would have been allowed to address, because like, I wish I would have been allowed to address things. Let's just say theoretically, there's something happening where people you and I collab, and I'm like, you're such a little freaking shitbag. This is why your mom doesn't love you. And people are like, whoa, Matara, you really hurt him
that
with the words
a lot with you, actually. I remember.
All the time.
Yeah.
People would be like, Matara, that was really hurtful. But then it doesn't stop there. People would like make these huge threads on everywhere. On Twitter, on TikTok. My comment
hates everyone, and
my comments would be flooded with that.
Yeah.
And I've talked about it where I was like, could I please just address it really casually?
Right.
Like, oh, hey, I had a collab with Kuro. By the way, remember that collab when I said that? You know I didn't mean it. And he'd be like, oh, girl, I know, we were joking. I called you old and stinky too. Don't worry. But I wasn't allowed to address a lot of those things. And I feel if I were to be allowed, I think it would have helped a lot of that. But this is why I also think that infighting and stuff started, is because we weren't really able to. And the thing is, like, some people did address it, but I think it's because I fucked up. I would ask for permission and then get told no.
Yeah,
and I think what a lot of people did is they asked for forgiveness instead of asking for permission.
You would have to just do it and then reap the consequence after.
Yeah. That was my problem, is I would ask for permission.
Yeah. Because then people know, and then you're gonna be told no anyway. You know?
Yeah.
I think in relation to that, something that I regret a lot was having to apologize for the wrong things. Like, there were so many times where like I'd apologize for something on Twitter. That I apparently said or did or whatever. And then people would be like, what? Why are you apologizing for this? You shouldn't apologize. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I know
I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So whatever. But oh well.
But genuinely, like and this is where like sometimes I wonder if it's like the Stockholm syndrome of like, because I'm out of it now, I look back and I'm like, haha, it made me. But I genuinely feel like
it definitely did. It's just one of those things, you know, like you have to go through certain things to grow as a person. Like, it's just one of those things.
Yeah. And I'm just so like, okay, so my pal tells me this all the time, where he's like, you're a little jaded. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm a little jaded. I think so. I think jaded is the right way to talk about how I am now. I'm a little jaded. I'm a little slower to trust. I'm a little, it takes me a little longer to warm up to people.
Yeah.
But hey, we're here now. We're alive.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think it definitely made me who I am today. And I feel a lot more chilled out.
Oh, yeah.
I was so stressed like 24/7. So
right?
now I'm like chill.
I'm good stressed now. Like, for example, I was telling my audience, like I'm preparing for my 1 year, which you just had. And I'm like, I cried in the bath because I was like a little stressed with my to-do list. But then I was like, wait, I'm choosing to do these things. I want to do these things. These are things that I want to do. This is exciting. I just am kind of bad at managing my time, and I put a lot of stuff on my to-do list. But that's because I'm a dumbass, not anything else, you know? That you feel a little bit more security. Because this is something that Vshojo has allowed me to feel. Vshojo, I feel, has given me a safety net.
Yeah,
where
for sure.
I can take I can take a little bit of time off, and I know that coming back, I'll have a community, I'll have a stream, staff will come up to me and be like, hey girl, you want to do merch? Let's help you out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel so good to know that like I'm good, I'm taken care of, I can take time off, I can do what I want.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, I love your model. Your mama cooked. I was actually looking at it yesterday. You look so ikemen. It looks really good.
It's nice to be a pirate. I like being a pirate.
Like the good old days.
Mm-hmm. That's like, actually, when we first ever met, I think was like that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holy, that was
It really suits you. It really, really suits you. It's like, I feel this is the most you I've seen you. Then again, I feel like Kuro, like the first Kuro is also very you, but this like, also when you first debuted, you were also saying that you were like, I'm taking it easy, so it was like the little emo, like I'm taking it easy, but I'm not
doing emo good. Art could be taking it easy.
Yeah, but now you're like, you're a little tan, you're happy, you're glowing, it's like, you're in it. I feel the good vibes, You know what's so funny? I wrote on my vision board that I wanted to hit 100K on YouTube that year, which was crazy because I wrote this, I think, in like January or February, and I had 0 on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then when I got accepted, my YouTube was like at 25K, I think, which was crazy because I went from like 5K into like 10K next month into like 15K. I was growing so fast and my videos were hitting momentum. And I genuinely think if I hadn't because I left, I ended up hitting that 100K later that year, I think in November. But if I hadn't left, I think I would have still hit it. But I'm happy with my decision. And even with all the pain I went through, I am very proud that was something in my life because it taught me about NDAs, first of all. It taught me about keeping I'm sorry, I'm going to swear. It taught me about keeping my mouth shut. It taught me a lot of stuff that I think I wouldn't have been able to learn otherwise. And I'm very, very grateful. Genuinely. Like I genuinely, I think it has taught me so much. And sorry, I mean, I met you, I met Mochi, I met Mint.
Yeah.
Like, I met people that I'm still very close with.
Speaking of NDAs and Mochi,
let's break a few.
So she was telling me, like, I'm actually curious about you now, but she was telling me that when she left her previous job, she didn't even sign anything.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. So she just fucking... Okay.
You know what? They still owe me like $400 because it's probably a little more because I sent back my phone and they never paid me back for that.
Oh, for like shipping?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, when I left, I was like, they sent me a message. They were like, hey, would it be okay if the way they would do this, they'd be like, is it okay if we restock this merchandise? And I was like, actually, thank you for asking. I would prefer that you didn't. I would really just want to, like leave and let everybody lie down and forget. They're like, oh, no, we weren't asking. We're just letting you know that we're restocking this merchandise. And I was like, okay, then why did you say, is it okay? Why did you say, is it okay? But they did restock a lot of merchandise right before I left, and I'm supposed to receive a percentage of that. I don't think I'm ever receiving. I don't think I'm ever going to receive that percentage. I don't think I'm.
Right.
I never received it.
I mean,
and it's one of those things where it's like they definitely got merch again.
Right.
Before when I was leaving to sell it.
There's even stuff with me, like there's like plushies and stuff that are still in like those crane games and stuff.
Oh, that are around. Yeah.
There's also a lot of animate stuff that's still around. I saw when I went to Japan. But it is what it is.
Oh my god, when I was in Animate, I was like, oh, there's me and there's Pat. I was like, oh.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even give a shit. Like, I'm like, whatever.
Although, I think the way some of this stuff works with a lot of places is the way they do it is like, they pay you out, like, because Animate will order a certain amount of
right, and they want to sell the stock, right?
But you technically should get paid as they order the product.
Right.
Technically, that's how it should be. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of that stuff, which again, you know what? Whatever. Yeah, it's worth
whatever.
it. You know, one thing I had asked? I had asked if I could pay to get myself re-rigged.
Oh.
And it wasn't something I was allowed. But I was like, please, can I pay to get a re-rigging? Please, I beg you.
It was very iconic.
I know. Stiff.
You had a very big mouth. Like when you go, it was nice.
All I did, everybody needs to understand, all I could do was just like happy, the D, semicolon D. That's all I could do.
Yeah. Colon D was your like thing.
That was it. That was just it, colon D. I remember when I told a parent that I was gonna leave and I had nowhere to go. Like, you know, Vshojo had not come knocking on my door. I was telling my parent that I was leaving, like, quote unquote, assured success to potentially stream Factorio to, you know, maybe like 300 people if I'm lucky. And they were like, you know what? Good. You were not happy. You seemed so distraught. And the way, okay, this is very Eastern European, but the way my mother said it, she's like, you look less beautiful when you're there. And beauty is not everything, but what she meant by that was like, it drained your beauty. It drained your, like, your good energy, your everything. And it was crazy to me because, you know, immigrant families, it's like, oh, if you make money, just stay. Suck it up. Like, do this for, you know, do this to put your family ahead of everybody. Nah. The fact when my mom was like, I'm happy you're leaving. This is good. Like, this is good for you to leave. Which was crazy because I was leaving it till like nothing was assured. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely the right choice. Now
God, I'm telling you, like, I don't know if you could hear the smile on my face where I'm just like, fuck. I can't believe how good things ended up being and how happy I am.
Yeah, it's perfect. Everything is aligning in our lives, I think.
I think so too. I want to say that Michi's a natural, but it kind of takes away from all the hard work that she does behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But she makes it look like she's a natural.
Yeah.
I feel like Michi, when you first see her, you're like, wow, she's so good at it. But then like I was telling her I'm doing a subathon and she gave me like 1 million prompts and she researched 1 million things while she was doing her own stuff. I didn't even ask her. She's just like, oh, by the way, Matara, here's all of this stuff you can do. Here's how this can help. Here's how. I was like, girl, what the hell? She's probably the hardest worker I know. What do you think?
I mean, she didn't even stream. Like, she wasn't even a streamer. She didn't want to be a content creator. She was doing fashion design. You know, she even was in like university for it. Yeah. And
my girl.
She even did like a lot of projects with that.
Oh my God, I know. I've seen some of the stuff.
Yeah. But then she just decided to try it out. And like, now she's Michi Mochivi and she's doing really well. So, you know, it is what it is.
I feel like if this girl puts her mind to anything, she makes it happen. Like she makes it happen through like hard work and dedication. Really. Yeah. Like she proves to me that everything is hard work in life. Everything. Meeting her made me realize like I could work a little more. I can work a little more. I can try a little more. I can do a little harder. You know?
Oh, it was like really hard to make her understand like her worth. I feel like even now she's kind of doubtful of it. But like for the longest time, like when I got into Vshojo, like I didn't tell her to like try get in Vshojo or anything. I was telling her that she should just fucking do something, like do something away from what she was currently doing, because I was saying like you have so much potential and you don't realize how much potential you have, and it makes me annoyed. So just do something, you know.
This is where you and I are a little different. Me, the moment I was like, I'm getting out, I didn't, you know, again, it was way before Vshojo, everything. I was like, I'm getting out. I was like, I'll tell you what it's like on the other side when I'm out. And then I got out, and then Vshojo happened. And then I was like, girl, I am telling you, give me like a little bit of time to get myself situated. And then you're leaving. Promise me you're going to leave. And I kept being like, I was actually being kind of a pushy. Like, again, I try not to be a pushy friend because I know that everybody has their boundaries. But with Michi, I know that if I am pushy, she knows that it's from a place of love and not from a bad place. Like Michi knows if I'm like, and I was very, Michi, we can talk about that one day with her. I think in like September, I was like, you need to leave. October, I was like, you need to leave, by the way. Yeah. November, I was like, by the way, you need to leave. Because also like, I didn't want to reveal other people's stuff, but I knew that like some other people were planning as well. And I was just like, Michi, you need to leave. I promise you, I will not let you fail. Like, I promise you, I will collab with you. I promise you, we will do stuff every day. I promise you, like, you're gonna love Twitch. But I was on her ass, and I even I was like, me and him are not gonna let you die. Exactly. But I think like I was being so okay. I'm so dramatic when I talk with Michi. I was like, Kuro and I won't let you die, but I think you're going to die if you stay there. I think it's going to kill you, your creativity. You're going to be a shell of a woman.
I mean, yeah. The thing is, it's like, I was just thinking the whole time, like, you're not going to grow there. That's what it's just honest. Like, you're not.
You're never going to be rewarded for your efforts.
You're one of the most... She's like the definition of bottlenecking.
She was.
Actually, though, like, for real. It's like, if you just leave, get a new audience, you will pop off. And then look what happened.
Yeah.
He's good now.
Oh my God. And I remember I was even like, look, Kuro and I, we're doing pretty good. If we're getting out and we're like seeing this stuff, I was like, it's not going to improve for you. You're still, I was like, look at the facts. It's been how many years? Like, this is an abusive relationship. Yeah. And I was so dramatic. And again, just so we're clear, I would never do this with a casual friend or somebody like, I would never, for example, like say this to somebody like Mel, because I know that Mel would actually take this so personal and like take it very like more negatively. But Michi, I know this bitch can handle it. But I was like, every week, I'd be like, so when are you getting out? And then I think she talked about it, so I can kind of like say it. She was getting ghosted a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She talked about it. She was getting ghosted a little bit by management. And I was like, call them up. I was like, call them, tell them. I'm like, they're trying to delay it. They're trying to like make you miss, like, I was like, no, call them. No. You want to leave. Let them know. Like, go to a lawyer, draft a letter. I was so on her ass. I was like, I squeezed that girl out of there.
Well, that's good.
I was really on her ass about it because I know how this was not gonna bring her joy, and she knew it. But I think she was also like very afraid to take the jump.
Oh yeah, she was definitely afraid. You know, even oh god, the amount of times I've like had to psych her up is insane about it. Because you know, if you're a Michi viewer here, be very positive to her. You know, she likes seeing the positive.
For a lot.
I feel like it's really hard to get into her brain that people like her sometimes. So even though it seems so obvious because you guys are so nice, so just be extra nice.
Be so nice to her.
Yeah.
You know, there is something that's a little bit of a. If you look at her letter that she posted when she was leaving, I think you can find a few types that I type, because I have a very easy tell when I type. I put 2 dots instead of 3 dots when I type very quickly.
Right.
Because while that morning of, we were in call and she was crying and I was like, it's okay, girl. Like, let's open up a document together. You talk to me, I talk to you, and we're going to like kind of like, do this, because she'd be like, I want to say this. I'm like, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So if you read that letter, there's a few spaces that she never ended up like changing where it's like 2 dots. And I wrote those. Because that's my tell that I write. I write 2 dots quite often. And I was with her and she was crying and I was crying and I was like helping her write it. Because at some point she was crying and she couldn't write. And I was like, it's okay. What do you want to say? I'm like, I'll type it out for you,
Yeah.
But if you find that and you're able to see, there's a few spots where she definitely has like 2 dots in a few places.
Oh my God.
I wrote that. I was collabing the other day and Strippin, who's like, I don't know if you know him. He's been a YouTuber. For he was like, he literally said, oh, I know a lot about Matara. She was a fox in another life. And I was like, what?
Because it's like another world to them. They don't.
Yeah, and I was like, bro.
Yeah. They don't know the taboos and stuff. That's funny.
I've had so many of these like long-term YouTubers message me, be like, oh, I actually had a video pop up about you. And I'm like, uh-oh. And they're like, I had no idea. And like having other people find out about that and tell me and be like, and then I was like, oh no. And they're like, no, you don't understand. They're like, I found a document. I was like, oh my God. Like, I read through it all. That's insane. I can't believe people took that. I was like, I know. But the difference is you're like 40 reading this.
Yeah.
The people reading this were 15.
Yeah.
Like I was the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Like Satan was better than I was to these.
I think I noticed this as well. Now, okay, I can say this because I am Asian. Asian fans, crazy. I'm sorry. Not all Asian fans, but somehow Asian fans. I don't know how to tell you this, but bro, they don't. Here's the thing. Here's what happened. You would say something that is obviously a joke to a Western audience, right? They wouldn't understand it as sarcasm or a joke. They would take it literally and then fucking fight you about it, even though they don't understand that it's a joke. And that happens so many fucking times to so many fucking people. Like, I can't. Like, relax.
And the worst part is I wasn't allowed to just be like, hey guys, I think you're severely misreading this. This is not. There was a time when one of our coworkers, they sang a song like 30 different times and they like barked it and they like they just put on voices for the song. And I was like, oh my God, I love you so much, but this was really cursed. And the comments were like, wow, first you bully the kohais, which is like your younger, like the people who came to the company after you. Then you bully your senpais. You are so vile. You are the worst person. How dare you? Because it was like, I guess they used translator. And I was like, haha, babe, I love you. That was so funny, but that's so cursed. And then the other comments were like, well, I don't like her and I'm not defending her for her actions because she's bad. But by the way, I think you're misreading. If people who were defending me were like, by the way, I don't like her, but I think you're wrong. What is going on? Why am I doing this? Anything I ever did, it was just like people being ready to jump on my throat.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you though, it feels so weird, Kuro, because while it was happening, like only really my close friends knew that I talked about it, right?
Right.
Because I talked about it a little bit to other people. They're like, oh, really? That sucks. Sorry. But now people that I'm meeting who are finding this out are like, oh my God, that's really bad. How are you? And it's so crazy to get this energy from like new friends. And I wasn't getting that energy from like people that I thought I was much closer with.
For sure.
They're like, oh, what's happening? Sorry. That sucks. Hee. Anyway, you want to collab? I was like, shit, okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, the trauma. It's crazy.